It is Tuesday, January 5th. Let's start off with our daily pledge. Today is a new day. I'm ready to be the best me I can be. I will listen so I can learn. I will try hard so my brain can grow. I will not give up. I can learn anything I put my mind to. So today is a new day. I don't know how your day went yesterday, but we're going to brush it off. We're going to start fresh, and we're going to continue to work on, remember, a new year and a new you. And how are we going to continue to manage our mental health? How are we going to continue to keep ourselves well, I can't even talk. On a scale of 1 to 10, how did you wake up feeling this morning? I'm hoping every day you're still doing a check-in. No matter if you hear from me or not, or you watch a video or not, make sure you're always doing your daily check-in. Good morning, Becky. If you woke up feeling great, that's awesome. Bottle up all that energy, use it, apply it to your day, get motivated, start working on some things. If you didn't wake up feeling so hot, get your toolbox or your tool bag out. Start working on the coping skills that you know you have to manage your mental health. Today we're going to talk a little bit about anxiety. Going along with our self-care. Our anxiety controls so much. It controls our thinking, our motivation, our actions, our reactions. And so anxiety is a huge piece. We've talked about it a lot of times, but a lot of times we just need to go back and have a refresher course. We need to be mindful of what's causing us to feel anxious and what we're going to do about that, how we're going to remedy that situation. So how did you wake up feeling? Remember, do a daily check-in. And maybe you want to take it a step further. Because remember, we're doing a new year and new you. And so maybe you start writing on your calendar how you wake up in the morning, okay? Maybe you notice that Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays you wake up at a 10, but Thursdays and Fridays you wake up at a 5. You start to feel better by the end of the week. What are you doing by the end of the week that makes you feel better? It's kind of interesting to start paying attention to those patterns and kind of that cycle that you have going on. It's going to help you stay mindful. Now, do I schedule appointments every Monday if every Monday I wake up at a 10? Maybe not. Maybe you do. I don't know. But by writing things down and by keeping track and journaling and monitoring those things, you can at least start to see kind of where your cycle's at or what your pattern is. And you can start to stay mindful of how you're feeling. And hopefully that's going to help you get into a better routine and start to feel better. So some of the things that I did not get to yesterday that I wanted to just go through really quick, and then we're going to move on to anxiety. Again, part of being anxious is also making sure you're taking good care of yourself, okay? And so we need to start there first. Good morning, Carmen. Good morning, Erica. So daily self-care checklist, okay? Waking up every morning. We talked about this yesterday. Setting an alarm, getting up, staying in routine, go to bed at a certain time, get up at a certain time. Now, again, these self-care tips not only are going to help you feel better, it's going to improve your mood, but it's also going to help your anxiety because you know what the expectation is. You get into that routine, you're in a flow. It helps you feel better. It just kind of gets you in a rhythm. Like I said yesterday, I'm having that much time off, although I feel very blessed to have that. I lose track of my routine. I lose track of my flow. That doesn't necessarily always sit well with me. And so it's good to be back at work and to be into that flow, and I get up and I go to bed at the same time and I just get back into my routine that's positive for me. And remember, always make your bed. Yes, I never ever moved from my bed without making it directly after I got out. Thank you, Christine. Drinking your 8 to 10 glasses of water. Okay, I've learned this firsthand in the past couple of weeks. My oldest daughter does not drink enough water. She gets lightheaded. She doesn't feel good. She feels foggy. She doesn't have any energy. She has no motivation. I'm telling you, water is huge. It is a huge piece of feeling better and feeling motivated and feeling focused and being able to take care of yourself. Drink your water. I'm scolding you now. Drink your water. Taking a walk, speaking to at least one person a day on the phone. You need to reach out. You need to have a social connection. You need to have somebody to talk to or maybe even just to listen to, but you have to have that interaction. Catching up on your laundry, doing your dishes, cleaning up around you, getting dressed, taking a shower, cleaning something, listening to music, open a window or go outside, get some fresh air. Look at your schedule. Make sure you're sticking to some of your routine. Write some things down, journal, positivity, having at least 3 meals a day and try to set them during certain times. You're going to be more successful if you set your meal times 3 meal times a day, set them and don't miss them. It doesn't have to be something huge. It can be small meals, but you have to get your meals in. Remember, HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Those are the things we need to stay mindful of to keep ourselves well. And try to keep to your routine. That's the number one important thing on here. Keep to your routine. It doesn't have to be so rigid that you can't do anything different and not be flexible, but you have to be able to kind of keep sticking to your routine, okay? So before I like this too. Just another resource. You might not be able to see it. Mental health tracker. Some folks will print off multiple copies of this, and every single day it'll be like their journal. You could put it in a little folder, okay? And so you just every day, how are you feeling? Okay, did you wake up feeling not so good today? If not, or what were you feeling like? Were you feeling unmotivated or lonely? How many hours of sleep did you get? Did you exercise? What were your goals for the day, and what were you grateful for? I think this is a really good worksheet. I think it's going to help you stay motivated. I think it's going to help you keep yourself on track. It's going to give you some things to think about. I think it's just another piece of, it's not a gratitude journal. It's not a regular journal, but most importantly, it's a mental health journal. How are you feeling? What are you feeling? What are you going to do about it? Did you sleep? Did you eat? Did you exercise? And what are you grateful for? All the things that we need to do in balance. Remember our self-care wheel. It's all about balance and keeping track of how we're feeling. And if you're not feeling well, what are you doing about it? Because if you're not doing anything about it, we're not going to feel well. Okay, so anxiety. Let's touch base about anxiety, okay? It's a new year and a new you. Some of that comes with more anxiety. The holidays are over. The hustle and bustle is over. Maybe we're kind of in the thick of winter, and so maybe some of you start to feel a little more seasonal depression and anxiety. But either way, let's touch base about that. One of the things that I printed off I think is great. Thoughts are not facts, okay? Our anxiety most often stems from thoughts, and the fact that we give our thoughts like a certificate of approval, like they're completely 100% true, but that's not true. They are not. Thoughts are not facts, okay? So we need to practice. When you put something, it says, when you put some space between you and your reaction, it changes your relationship to your thoughts, okay? You can watch them come and go instead of treating them as a matter of fact. So when you start to feel something coming on, maybe it's bad, maybe you feel like, you're a failure, you did something wrong, you start to feel stressed, you start to feel overwhelmed, whatever it is. Some people put a stamp on that. That's got to be true, and they freak out and they get angry, or they isolate and they shut down. But whenever you put a stamp of approval on thoughts without taking a step back, our reaction isn't necessarily appropriate or how we would respond or fitting to the thoughts. Because if you take a step back and you process the thoughts, you give yourself some space and then react, chances are you're going to react more appropriately. It's not going to increase your anxiety. It's not going to ruin relationships around you. It's not going to cause you more stress, okay? Sometimes when we react poorly to thoughts, we increase our depression, increase our anxiety, and we ruin relationships around us, or at least we think we did, and there goes our support system. See, it's kind of a spiral, okay? So I like that. Thoughts are not facts. Do not put that stamp of approval on a thought until you've given yourself some space to process it, to think about it, to kind of write down maybe your pros and cons, and to just really challenge that thought before you react. Because a lot of times our thoughts are not real, and we react poorly, okay? So that's what you got to remember, that thoughts are not facts. Process them, write them down, think about them before you react. Otherwise, what happens? Our anxiety skyrockets. Pretty soon we're having a panic attack. Maybe we're isolating. We've canceled all our appointments. We've shut down all of our support system. Do you see what happens? It can be a very negative negative impact when you stamp approval on those thoughts. So don't do that, okay? We need to process them, put space in between them. Okay, let's talk about anxiety. What are some anxiety triggers? Okay, conflict or drama, okay, between friendships, relationships, families. Being a large crowd of people causes anxiety. Meeting somebody or going somewhere new for the first time. Having to confront or approach somebody. Trying to make other people happy causes a lot of anxiety. When we are focusing on everybody else around us but ourselves, our anxiety goes through the roof. We cannot meet everybody's expectations. We cannot be everybody's caretaker. When you start to take on that role, we stop taking care of ourselves. That increases your anxiety. Having too much to get done, if you're feeling overwhelmed or your to-do list is too high, too much, you're going to start to getting anxious. You're going to start to shut down before you know it. You're not going to get anything done, and your anxiety is going to kick in, and we just shut down. Making plans with other people sometimes can trigger anxiety. Being away from family members or friends for too long. Any kind of sudden change, whether it's a move or a job change or a loss of an income or loss of a family member or friend. Anytime there's a sudden change, it increases our anxiety. I think that the after effect of the holidays being over is a sudden change that can create that depression and that anxiety and that stinking thinking. A lot of things start to happen after the holidays because it's all this hype, right? We worked so hard to get ourselves through that. It's kind of like blowing up the balloon and then pop, it's over. And we kind of go into this panic mode because now we have to shift gears, right? We spent all this time trying to process the holidays and get through that time, but now what? Now what do we do? Now we actually have to focus on ourselves. Now we actually have to take care of ourselves. Whoa, back up the train. And so I think this really starts to take a big toll on people. That's why I want to revisit this. This is why I want to talk about filling up your toolbox, taking a look at yourself. What are you doing to take care of yourself? What are you doing to manage your mental health? Let's continue to talk about our triggers, right? Not knowing what will happen in the future. Let's be honest, we're all in this boat right now. We need to take one day at a time. We need to capitalize on today, okay? It's so important. I need to stay mindful of this myself. Capitalize on today. We do not know what tomorrow brings. We don't know what 2021 is going to bring us, but that's okay. Focus on today. Let's see here. We sometimes our anxiety kicks in when we travel or others travel that we love. Going anywhere or doing certain things by yourself can cause anxiety. Loud noises, being around certain people, being in tight spaces, negative thinking, the stinking thinking. We just talked about that creates an immense amount of anxiety that is unnecessary. Okay, we have to learn to stop those thoughts to prevent us from making our anxiety worse when it doesn't have to be. Getting criticized or doing something wrong, we start to feel guilty or shameful. If somebody criticizes us, we automatically, our self-esteem is broke, our confidence is broke, we start to fall apart, but we have to stop that. Again, it kind of goes into that negative thinking. We have to stop that. Having conversations can create anxiety and being unprepared. Okay, so now what are we going to do about that, okay? What are some things that you can tell yourself when you're feeling anxious? Number one, my brain is giving wrong signals. I am safe. It's kind of like learning some positive affirmations. When your anxiety kicks in, you need to start telling yourself, I'm okay, I am safe. My brain is telling me something that is not true, and I need to rethink that. I need to take a step back. It's not true. I am going to be okay. Number two, I know how to cope. I trust myself. That is huge. Trust yourself. Trust your automatic instinct to take care of yourself. You know coping skills. You know how to use them, but we doubt ourselves. We second guess ourselves. That's not okay. Trust yourself. You know the tools you need to use. Use them, apply them, and allow them to work. That's what's going to be most effective. So trust yourself. You know yourself. If you've been watching me this whole time or going to any sort of groups or listening to your therapist or your case manager, or maybe you did your own sort of self-help or learning or reading, you know what tools are. You know what you got in your bag. Use them. Trust yourself. Number three, the feeling won't last forever. If your anxiety starts to spike, know that this feeling won't last forever. You will continue to go on, and it will subside, and your day will continue to be amazing, okay? Number four, thank you for the warning, brain, but I'm okay. I like that. Thank you for the warning, but I'm okay, okay? Number five, I accept this feeling. I accept that I'm anxious. I accept how I'm feeling right now, but I don't have to let it consume me. That's so huge, okay? I accept that I'm feeling this way, but I'm going to do something about it, and I'm going to move on from that. I love this. Number six, I'm a total badass. I got this. You have to be your own best cheerleader. You have to cheer yourself on. Tell yourself you got this. You're not going to let this consume you. Continue to work on your goals. Continue to cheer yourself on. Push forward, push through, and stay motivated. Number 7, I have felt this way before and nothing bad happened. I've gotten anxious before. I've kind of melted down before. You know what? I'm okay. Nothing bad happened. So you have to continue to train your brain to say, yes, I feel this way, but I'm okay. Number 8, I'm able to manage my feelings in a healthy way. I'm not going to freak out or melt down or run away and hide. I have the tools I need to handle this situation or these feelings in a healthy way. And you do, okay? Number 9, anxiety won't stop me from doing the things I want. No, it shouldn't. It should never stop you from doing the things you want. If it is, we have some work to do. You need to reach out and you need to ask your arms worker to help you work on some ways so that anxiety is not controlling what you want to do. And lastly, I don't have to do this alone. I can ask for help. Remember, there are so many resources out there. Call your case manager, call your arms worker, call your therapist. Reach out to the NAMI support group. Remember, NAMI.org, okay? Reach out, do some trainings, do some learnings, do some readings. Don't forget about the crisis team. Don't forget there are multiple resources around you that you can always reach out and ask for help. You can come down to the drop-in center, reach out to your peers, reach out to a family member. There are people around you. When you start to feel anxious, you start to feel alone. But you need to train your brain that you are not alone and that there are many, many folks around you who will help support you and get you through that, okay? So for Topic Tuesday, your challenge for today is be mindful of your anxiety. Be mindful of your thought process. Start changing how you're thinking, using some positive affirmations. Say, yes, I feel anxious, but I'm okay. And I have the tools to be okay. Keep yourself in check. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Remember, halt, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Take care of you. Remember, put up your wheel. Balance inside the wheel so that you can feel good about yourself. You can decrease any symptoms that you have coming your way. But most importantly, trust yourself. You know how to take care of yourself. You know the tools you have in your bag. Now use them and let them work, okay? Happy Tuesday. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow for Wellness Wednesday.